What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at the auction house right now in College Football Ultimate Team and what I would be looking at if I were you guys today. Now, things in the auction house are getting a little bit crazy, and a lot of it is because of how good some of these cards are. Now, yes, the 88 overall Legends cards right now are still really, really expensive. So right now, wouldn't necessarily recommend picking up those cards quite yet. The cards that I think are so underpriced right now is the cards I'm looking at right here. These 86 overall Legends are so inexpensive, and I gotta be honest, these cards are extremely good. And we're gonna be diving even into some of the other cheaper cards today that did come out. But it is absolutely amazing how good of a team you can build right now for so cheap. And a lot of it has to do with these 84, 85 Legends cards. But Staubach, one of the best quarterbacks in the game at this 85 overall tier for 22,000 coins, makes absolutely no sense. I mean, I'll be the one to say it makes no sense because he is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Even at the 85 overall tier for that cheap, I mean, it's just ridiculous at this stage, the price of these Legends cards. So I'm honestly going to buy some of these cards because if they don't go up in price, guys, I'm okay getting training out of these cards for their specific prices right now. And so that's where I'm at with some of these cards. I do think even the 84 Staubach is going to go up in price. But for 14,000 coins, the risk reward for me is definitely worth it. Even this 85 overall for 20,000 coins. It's just like, it makes no sense. He is absolutely ridiculously good. And at an 85 overall, I mean, I'll take the flyer on it every single time. And that's the way it is for nearly all of these cards. Even like a Julius Peppers. I think Peppers is outstanding. And an 85 overall Julius Peppers for 24,000 coins, I think that's a steal. He's an incredibly good right end for that price. And it's just going to be tough to beat. Sapp for 12,000, I'm going to buy him every single time. And that's what I would recommend doing if I were you guys. Sit on these filters and just buy these cards. Because at the end of the day, your risk is nothing when you do buy these cards for this cheap. Your risk is nothing because you can resell them for training if all else fails. And I do think all of these cards' prices are going to go up because when you're talking about guys that are just starting the game right now in College Football Ultimate Team, these are guys that they should be targeting. I mean, these are absolute great cards for their, specific overalls that anybody should be looking at picking up, especially these 85 overalls for 25,000 coins. It's just going to be so tough to beat that. Now, for me, what I would like is to see these prices of these 86s eventually go down. But right now, that's not where we're at. Right now, these 86s are still pretty expensive. But even a Staubach for 58,000 coins at an 86 overall, it just seems like a steal. I mean, I think this card is absolutely elite for that price. So we'll kind of keep an eye on prices into tonight. But the auction house is going to go down as a whole because these cards are going to go down throughout today, especially the 88s. Right now, they are pretty rare. I do expect them to go down. Some of them went down. Staubach's 500. Bosworth is 500. They're going to continue to go down throughout today. But the overall auction house is going to go down in a big time way. Not necessarily, just these Legends cards. You want me to look at something else? I want to point out something else to you guys, a specific position that has went down a ton as well. And that's the wide receiver position. And if you're wondering, Ty, why are wide receivers getting cheaper? Well, Tavon Austin came out today. That's one reason. Another reason is there's just not enough positions to run cards. Like Crabtree was 100,000 coins before the drop came out today. I'll pick him up for 75,000 coins because at minimum, I know I'm going to at least be able to get like 85,000 coins for the card. And I like Crabtree. I think he's really good. But again, he's 89,000 coins pretty consistently. And so that's what I'm going to put him up for. Boom, just made 10,000 coins in a heartbeat while recording this video. But let's talk about Adunze. Let's talk about Garrett Wilson. Let's talk about those types of cards and their specific prices. Garrett Wilson for 197. Are you kidding me? A day ago, he was 290 some. he is priced way down. Adunze's under 200,000 coins as well. The prices of cards are going way down, and a lot of it has to do because a Tavon Austin came out today. A Desmond Howard's going to get cheaper today. Even a guy like Luther Burden is going to get cheaper today. Because we got a new stud wide receiver, the prices of some of the rest of these cards are going to go way down. And that's the entire rest of the auction house. I know the season 1 cards aren't being pulled right now, but their prices are still going down because of how good of content we are getting consistently every single day. Even let's look at the running back position really quickly so we can show you guys some of these prices. Obviously, Judkins is still relatively expensive, so is Robinson. But when you look at these 86, 87s, Jonathan Taylor, super cheap, 50,000 coins. Chris Johnson's price has went down a little bit as well. And so, although they are not in packs, because the content is so good, it's really driving the prices down on all the cards. Julius Peppers, probably one of the best right ends in the game. Even at this 86 overall, 63,000 coins for one of the best right ends in the entire game. And it really, to me, makes no sense. It makes no sense. I get it's simple supply and demand, but for me, when a card's as good as this Julius Peppers is, it's just like he should be an instant buy. And that's the way I'm feeling about basically all of this content. Staubach, for what? 30,000 or for 53,000 coins. Seems like an instant buy. So a lot of these cards are cards, if nothing else, at this 86 overall tier, I would buy, and then guess what? You can use these cards. I use Staubach. I'm not even a big fan of Tim Tebow right now in college football ultimate team. So guess what? I'll use Staubach, and guess what? I think he's going to be a really, really good card for me in what I'm looking for at the quarterback position. Guess what? I'll buy Peppers because he's one of my favorite ends in the entire game, and I'll use him. Same thing with Bosworth. If all else fails, instead of investing for these cards, buy these cards to use for your specific squad. And you know me, I love investing in cards as much as anybody. But at the end of the day, when cards are as good as these cards are, even at the 85 overall tier, it doesn't make sense to buy them necessarily to invest in them. It makes sense to buy them to use them with as good as these cards are. 85 Peppers for under 20,000 coins. I mean, are we serious right now? It just does not make a whole lot of sense. I do know a lot of people are opening up these packs. I do know the supply is probably going to be quite a bit. But the demand for these cards, they're going to be some of the best budget-ish cards in the entire game, so the demand should stay relatively high for them. I'm a big fan of the content that we got today, and for me, the value here on some of these cards is ridiculously good. I'm just throwing it out there. It is ridiculously good. So it's something that, is it worth buying these cards for their specific overalls? I don't know. But when I see an 84 Peppers, who I love for budget guys out there, for 14,000 coins, I'll buy them. I will be the one to invest in these cards. If I'm the only one to do it, I don't care. But it is crazy how cheap some of these cards are. Sapp for 12,000. I mean, I don't even have a choice. I don't have a choice. So that's what I'm going to be doing for today, is buying these cards and just holding them. I'm not even trying to sell them for training right now. Although they are the best value training in the game right now, it's not what I'm really worried about. What I'm worried about is stashing some of these cards. If they go up in price, awesome. If they don't, that's fine. I'll quick sell them for training before the next content drop. And honestly, is that what I'd recommend you guys to do? I don't know. But for 14,000 coins, one of the best right ends in the entire game, and for sure for budget guys, why would you not invest these? The risk is so low when it comes to these cards. At most, you're going to lose, what, 500 coins on them? I don't care. I'm buying nearly all of these cards I can today, and we will sit on them, invest in them, and see what ultimately does happen. The market, especially for these new Legends cards, is so undervalued, in my opinion, that it's something I would kind of recommend you guys to do. Yes, I know that these cards are common, but when they are as good as they are, I would take the risk and invest in some of these cards. They're so good, especially for their specific value. That's gonna wrap it up for my video. I'd really recommend, if you're looking, Ty, who should I pick up today? All of the new cards. Now, what overalls you guys specifically want, that gets a little more specific for what your specific team looks like, you know, what you're trying to get. But these cards are super undervalued. And I mean, again, I think Staubach's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, especially when you're getting to the 86 overall tier. I just think it's so tough to beat these cards for their specific value. So I'll take the risk on each and every one of these cards. It's not really a risk to buy them, stash them, and see what their price ends up going for. But I'm telling you, I think these cards are super undervalued, and these prices should rise over the course of the next week. Now, obviously, these cards will, I think, be in packs in the future, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. But I love each and every one of these cards that came out today, and I'll be looking to pick up the 86 overalls. I'd love nothing more than to be able to get the 88 overall Julius Peppers, then to get the 88 overall Staubach, all of those cards. But with their prices, it doesn't make sense. Get the 86 overall versions if you're wanting the really good versions of them. If you're wanting the budget, there's nothing wrong with the 84 or 85 either. That's where I'm looking today. These prices are way too cheap for these incredible cards in college football Ultimate Team. I'll be the one to invest in them, even if you guys don't want to. That's going to wrap it up for my video. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Am I being too crazy buying all of these cards, or is it warranted? For me, I love these cards. I think they're worth their price. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.